Hey everybody, and welcome to New Media Marketing in the month of November. It's the exciting month where you start off with Thanksgiving and you end with Christmas holidays. So what I've done, I've put a couple of days back into week one. It's going to make week two a little bit tight, but you'll see that week 1 and 2 really work together, so that I don't think that's going to be a big issue for you. I'm going to briefly discuss what we're looking at in these 2 weeks. And let's start off with week 1. Week 1, the two main components of your assignment are personas, and if you read Think Like a Rock Star, which I highly recommend you do, you'll know that Matt Collier talks about 3 different personas. There is the customer, there is the fan, and then there is the influencer. And I'll talk more about the influencer in a little bit. Then we also want to talk about goals. What are the goals that we set for our brand that are at the company level? And then by the time we get to week 3, see, I'm jumping ahead already. By the time we get to week 3, we're going to talk about the campaign goals for an influencer campaign. So what we're really doing is, in this month, is we're going to establish a marketing plan. And within that marketing plan, there's going to be a campaign plan for influencer marketing. Now, as you develop a number of different skills that you're going through this program, this master's degree to do, you're going to find that you'll have the ability to present a number of different campaigns. It might be an SEO campaign. It might be a paid advertising campaign. In this case, or a public relations campaign, which would be earned media, not paid media. In this class, we're going to talk about influencer. And by the way, when we talk about influencers, what we're really talking about is we're talking about earned media, because we want other people to be telling our story. Now, in the truest sense, we're going to pay a little bit probably for some influencers, and we're probably going to pay for some perks for our brand ambassadors if you happen to choose a brand ambassador strategy. But it's nowhere close to the type of advertising that you get when you're actually in the paid media channel. Why? Because we're relying on people to share their thoughts, versus in paid media, we are telling the audience exactly what we want them to say, and it's said when we want it said. We have to pay for it, but we're controlling all points of the messaging. So, by the way, in the background, you may be hearing 2 little puppies, my 2 dachshunds that are with me just about throughout the entire day, and they're getting ready. They're rehearsing their lines for Flynn and Fletch's web series, which is actually it's on the Doxy Tales YouTube channel, and they're practicing their lines for their show, which is a web series, Flynn and Fletch at the Movies, where they do actual movie reviews. The next one coming up is Cruella. At any rate, getting back to influencer marketing, what we're doing is now we're going to establish the goals. And goals, you need to think about goals in this way. There are basically 4 goals for any marketing department. Those 4 goals are brand awareness, lead generation, conversion, and advocacy. You can take just about any goal or any article that you may read. I remember one from the beginning of last year, the 37 top digital marketing goals. And I went through and read it, and they all boiled down to one of those 4 that I mentioned. So those are the 4 goals that should be your top tier marketing goals. Now, your business may not need all 4 of those. You may want to concentrate on brand awareness and conversion, or you may want to concentrate on advocacy and lead generation, or some other combination therein. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. But I'm just telling you, there's only 4 goals. So it makes your job a little bit easier at that top level. But then we get to the next question, because we want to take it down one step. And the way that you get to your second tier, now in the writing, I refer to this as macro and micro. Macro, big picture; micro, a little bit tighter picture. And the way that you get to your micro conversions or your micro goals is you ask the question, how are we going to achieve that top tier goal? So how are we going to achieve increased brand awareness? What are the activities that we're looking to do? Now, at the second tier, Your second tier goal should be a combination of both activity items and outcomes. In other words, let's take brand awareness, for example. What is the outcome that we're looking for in terms of brand awareness? We want people that when they think of a product to think of our brand. Well, how are we going to measure it? And that becomes the trick. Let's go to another measure, conversions. What are conversions? Well, in the broadest sense, they're going to be sales. So what is an outcome that we would like in terms of our goal at the top tier might be to see a 3 or 4 or 5% increase in sales. Now, I would highly encourage you to be very, very conservative. When I see numbers like 10, I would be happy with 10, by the way, although that's at the high end. When I see numbers like 50% increase and 100% increase, the question becomes, are those realistic? No. And I'll tell you why realistic is important in just a moment. So let's take sales, and let's say that we're going to have a 5% increase in sales. So that is an outcome. What's an activity? Well, an activity is that we have to get people to our website. So we may look at number of people hitting our landing page as an activity, and that's going to lead us to ultimately the higher increase in sales. So you want to identify activities that are causal, okay, that you believe have a direct cause on the outcome, and you could measure those activities. Or you could find another outcome and measure the outcome as well in terms of the second tier. So I said what you're actually doing, though, is answering the question of how. How are we going to achieve that higher level goal? Well, the answer to that question, we can make it a goal simply by following the SMART rule. So let me say this unequivocally. Every goal that you write in this program, not just this class, in this program, should be a SMART goal, meaning that it encompasses 5 different attributes. It's specific, that's the S. It's measurable, we can quantify it, that's the M. It's achievable. Remember I said 50 and 100%? Those are not achievable. 5%, 3%, that's achievable. R, that it is relevant. Now, how do we know it's relevant? Well, we know it's relevant when it answers the question to the top tier goal of how. How are we going to achieve that top tier goal? And we give an answer, that means that it's relevant. And then finally, time bound. When do we expect to achieve this goal? Is it in the next week? Is it in the next month? Is it in the next 6 months, the next year? Or is it just open-ended? If it's just open-ended, it's not a SMART goal. If you don't cover one of the 5, then it's not a SMART goal. You have to have all 5 components in order for it to be a SMART goal. All right, let me come back to, I said that there are 3 personas that we're looking at, and I want to come back to the influencer. Now, an influencer is a true influencer does not have a direct connection with your brand other than the one you create as part of the influencer relationship. So what kind of persona are you looking for? You're looking for a influencer, and I like to call these folks new media journalists. Don't go down the route of celebrities. There are some brands that can hire celebrities, but a celebrity, even in the most benign sense, is going to be insanely expensive. And when I say insanely expensive, I'm talking from tens of thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars to possibly even millions, okay? Celebrities don't do what they do for free. They're making an exorbitant living off of their endorsements. You want influencers, and primarily these are new media journalists, that they may have a very large fan following. They may be somewhat of an internet celebrity, but they are influencers first and foremost. And you have mega influencers, you have medium size, and then you have small influencers. I tend to like to work with small influencers, but it's not to say if you're not a bigger brand that you couldn't work with a bigger influencer. Now, in addition to influencers, we also have brand ambassadors. When you're looking to develop a brand ambassador strategy, what you really want to do is take your influencer persona and meld it with your fan influencer. Because what do we know about fans? Fans are customers. They are our super customers. And a brand ambassador, you want to recruit from the top of the fans. And hopefully you also want to recruit somebody that's got some of the new media journalist skills that we would look for in an influencer. You want them also for the brand ambassador. So a combination of both the influencer and the fan is the type of individual that you're looking for if you're going to go a brand ambassador strategy. Now, influencer strategies are good for short-term campaigns, 2 to 6 months. Brand ambassador strategies usually run on into infinity. You may elect to choose or turn over your brand ambassadors from time to time, and you can put some criteria in as far as that goes. For example, AMC movie theaters, they only want students. They want students that are in college. So once you graduate college, you have to finish your term and you leave, and a new brand ambassador is then brought on board. So, but the brand ambassador program is evergreen. It continues on and on and on, kind of like the Energizer Rabbit. Okay. In week 2, what are you doing? In week 2, you're going out and you're taking your personas, and you are going to go and find people that match either your influencer persona, or you're going to find people that match the combination of a hybrid between the influencer and the fan. Okay? Now, I've got a video that goes over how to research this in greater detail, but that's the high level, and I wanted to keep this video fairly short. So first off, welcome back from Thanksgiving. I'm Dr. John. I should have said that in the beginning, but you probably have already figured that out. And who wants to come here? Anybody want to come up? No? All right, well, I'm sure that you'll get another chance to meet Flynn and Fletch as they make their appearances known during my videos usually. So have a great week. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call 407-267-8600. And I can see that I already ran this much longer than I wanted, so I'm going to get out of here real quick. Bye, everybody.